very good morning to you from Sarah and me. It's 7 o'clock on Wednesday, the 7th of September.
Good morning from Juliet and from me.
It's 7:30. Welcome if you've just joined us.
Good morning and welcome to the BBC's Breakfast News.
Good morning and welcome to the BBC's Breakfast News.
Good morning and welcome to the BBC's Breakfast News programme.
Good morning and welcome to the BBC's Breakfast News.
You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
A very good morning to you. You're watching Breakfast.
Good morning and welcome to this early morning briefing.
Hello, you're watching Breakfast.
Good morning, it's Friday the 7th of September.
You've been the backbone of the programme for the last 13 years, believe it or not, 13 years, and we're very sorry to see you go. But a word from the wise, now you're off to be the boss of Tunbridge Wells. You might want to think about sorting yourself out some new threads. Could lend you this tie. I do know a good tailor I could put you in touch with.
That tie?
Yeah.
Maybe not that tie.
Couldn't afford that.
Don't listen to him. You're Lee, and they will love you just the way you are, Mick.
I want you just the way you are.
Two things to say about Mick Rawsthorne.
Come back to what you know. Take everything real slow. I want to lose you, but I can't let you go.
What did you think of Mick as a deputy editor?
I never had a worse deputy editor. He was truly useless the whole time I was the editor of Breakfast. I was undermined at every opportunity. He didn't give balance to the programme so that we just obsess about the north of England. Breakfast is, without doubt, better off without it, and Tunbridge Wells is worse off.
So how do you think he'll get on at Tunbridge Wells?
I have absolutely no doubt that he will be rubbish.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I know that he inherits a radio station that is absolutely brilliant, but I'm sure he'll change that. I think for Mick, the only way is down. I'm sure he won't let them up.
Mick, I'm really sorry to see you go because it means I'm going to have to do some of your newsletters and you're quite a hard act to follow in that department. So I've got this to help me. And I've been researching some of the superlatives that we might use to describe you. We've got ableist, amplest, aptest, artiest.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can shoot.
Mick, all of us on the post-production side would like to say thank you for all the many years you've been on the programme, the toil, the demands and the fun that we've had making stuff for you, especially at 5 morning. From very humble beginnings, you were very quick to climb the BBC ladder, and we're sure that in the future you'll progress to even greater things.
Breakfast. I'm so worried about Breakfast. We used to have the dream team. There was David, Waitrose, Southern Vote, and there was Mick, Morrison's, the Northern Vote. Absolutely had it nailed. David buggers off, and then Mick goes, oh, how on earth am I going to replace Mick? The voice of the North, the voice of the North. But I think I've managed to find the perfect replacement for Mick. He's just coming. Hey, don't worry, calm down, calm down, calm down.
I can get a sparrow with a bow and arrow.
Biggest, boldest, bonniest, bounciest, brainiest.
You can reach, I can go higher.
We are the Diddy Men.
Well, Mick, it's time to say goodbye. I've just got to say thank you so much for all your support the last, nearly 2 years. Those big editorial decisions, you know. Gerard, everyone's talking about Gerard. Yes, maybe in Toxteth, but not here, you silly man.
You know, in 20 years at the BBC, I never worked with a better producer or a nicer bloke. We had some fantastic times on the road with the Sat Van, and when you sat down to review a film as the planning editor or the deputy editor, I always knew you'd actually make it better by doing that. You also know some terrifyingly long words. Do you remember when you sat me down to teach me hypothecated taxation and then asked me to turn it into television? Because I do.
I can sing anything higher than you.
grooviest.
We are the Diddy Men, itty bitty Diddy Men. We are the Diddy Men who always have the
Mick, the whole of the newsroom is just going to fall apart without you. What are we going to do? Best of luck. Just think, no more midnight liaisons with Niven in the back of a forest somewhere where you park your car and they pick you up and you drive all the way up here. And you're the big boss now, so we'll be applying for jobs to you very soon.
Hello, Mick. When Breakfast asked me to do this with a few memories of our time working together, I thought, great, do. And I started to look back on all the reporting missions you sent me on. Firstly, they usually involve getting up in the dark at about 3 o'clock in the morning, standing somewhere miserable, cold for several hours. And if it wasn't that, then it was perhaps another enticing trip to Northern Ireland, or maybe to a rubbish tip, or to interview a neo-Nazi in the backwaters of Virginia, or a series of fascinating reports on life after 50. So exactly why should the memories of you be so fond? Well, we wouldn't have done it with such willingness for anyone else. Good luck.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you
Red.
can't. No, you can't.
Readiest.
No, you can't.
Realist.
We are the Diddy Men, itty bitty Diddy Men. We are the Diddy Men who always have the bag.
I've been put in charge of the rebranding team for BBC Tunbridge Wells, responding to the emails that you've been sending us about little changes you want made here and there. Most notably, the insignia above the door as you enter the building. Obviously, at the moment, it's this BBC, which you felt was a little dull, didn't really sum up a company on the move. So we've thought long about it, and after several months of lunches at the Ivy, we came up with something we think you're going to like. Still in the sort of work in progress stage, but I think it looks good. And this is it.
I've had my doubts about Mick for some time. Have you ever heard him say, all right, la? They do, don't they, do? Exactly. Look at his record collection. The Smiths, Stone Roses, Happy Mondays. Have a look at this. On his favourites. The final. Not only does he live in Kent, he works in Kent. Mick, you're a man.